What's up guys, Perry from Rockville here, and today I'm going to show you how to set up your MINI RF4 charge package. It comes with the lights in both black and chrome, but the setup for each is the exact same. So as you can see, the case comes with 8 lights loaded in, an RF remote and a charger for each light, and a main power cable to plug into the case to charge all of the lights at once. If you want to learn more about how to use your MINI RF4 wash light, check out our video on that. So to charge our lights, we're going to start by taking each charger here, plug the female end into the charging port on each light, then plug the other end into any of the available outlets on this power strip over here. For a cleaner look, you can even take the wire coming from your charger, stuff it into the slot for your light, and then place your light right on top. So again, we're going to want to do this for each light inside of the case. So after we've plugged in each of our lights to the case, we're going to take the main power cable here, plug the female end into the IEC port on the side of the case, then plug the other end into a power outlet on your wall. Next, you're going to flip this power switch here on your case, and now you'll see the LED on each charger light up red, meaning that all of our lights are charging. This LED will light up green once the light is fully charged. Another thing I want to mention is when you're charging your lights, you want to make sure that your case is open for proper ventilation. So once we're all set to bring our lights on the go, we can close the case up and use the front locks here to close the case. Then we can take the case by the top handle here and head on to our gig or event. If you're not planning on using all of your lights for your gig, you can use the open slot to carry additional gear like cables, microphones, etc. Now there are many different ways we can use the MINI RF4 lights, like with a wireless DMX controller, using the master slave function, and setting the lights up to different groups. Keep in mind, I'm only going to use 4 of the lights from the pack for these demos, but if you wanted to set up even more lights, you're just going to follow these same exact steps. So first, let me show you guys how to use your MINI RF4 lights with a wireless DMX controller. So here I have my wireless DMX controller and my 4 MINI RF4 wash lights, and the DMX controller is going to give us more control over the lights. So to set our lights up to the DMX controller, we're going to turn on all of our lights, and then we're going to set our lights to slave or wireless DMX mode by double pressing the power button until the group LED flashes quickly twice. We're also going to want to set the color group for each light to the same color by pressing the power button once. From there, we can choose between the colors of red, green, yellow, or blue. So for today, we're going to set them to red. We're also going to want to do the same thing with our DMX controller so that it can communicate with our lights. So again, we're going to want to set this color to red. Next, on our DMX controller, we're going to activate scanner 1, and now we can go through each fader and see what they do for our lights. Fader 1 acts as the master dimmer, or how bright we want our lights set. So for today, we're going to set that all the way up. Next, we have fader 2 to control the red LEDs. So the more I raise it, the more red starts to come through. Fader 3 controls the green LEDs, so the more I raise that, the more green comes out. Fader 4 controls the blue LEDs. Fader 5 controls the white LEDs. Fader 6 will bring out the amber LEDs, and Fader 7 will bring out the ultraviolet LEDs. Now we can use any one of these faders to set the light to that color, or we can mix and match them to make up a custom color. So for example, I can raise a little bit of red, a little bit of blue, and some amber, and now you'll see that the lights are set to my custom color. So moving on to Fader 8, this will control the strobe for the light, so the more I raise it, the faster the lights will start to strobe. Now we can set our lights to the different modes that are built in through Fader 9, and depending on where we set Fader 9 determines which mode it's set to. We can also refer to the LED screen on our DMX controller to find out which value our faders are set to. So for example, if I set my fader anywhere from 120 to 159, it will activate the color pulse mode for our lights. And then we can use Fader 10 to control the speed of the mode. So the more I raise Fader 10 on the color pulse mode, the faster the light will pulse between each color. You can always refer to the included DMX guide to find out which faders do what, and which values for Fader 9 activate which mode. Now if you wanted to have control over multiple lights but didn't want to set up a DMX controller, you can always use the master slave function. To set that up, we're first going to choose which light we want to have as our master light. So for today, we're going to go with this guy at the end. And on that light, we're going to double press the power button until the color group LED flashes once. We're also going to want to set our master light to a color group by pressing the power button once to choose between the colors of red, green, yellow, or blue. For today, we're going to set it to red, so we're going to press the power button once until it's set to the red color. So now with this step, we've set our light to master mode. So we're gonna set the rest of our lights to slave mode by double pressing the power button until the color group LED flashes quickly twice. So again, we're gonna wanna make sure to set our slave lights to the same color group by single pressing the power button once until the color group LED light is flashing red. So now to give our master light a command for the slave lights to follow, we're gonna wanna set our master light back to the RF mode by double pressing the power button until the color group LED is a solid color. Then from there we can take one of our wireless remotes and set the RF group for the remote to red by pressing the RF group button here on top until the light on our remote flashes red. From here we can set our light to any mode or color. And now as soon as we have it set to the mode or color we want, we can turn our light back to master mode again by double pressing the power button until the color group LED flashes quickly once. And now you'll see that all of these slave lights follow the master light. And again, if you ever want to switch the mode or color the lights are set to, you're going to go back to your master light, set it back to RF mode, pick a new color or mode, then we're going to set our master light back to master mode by double pressing the power button until the color group LED flashes quickly once, and then again all of the slave lights will follow. And if you had even more mini RF4 wash lights you wanted to set up, you can follow the same steps to set them to slave mode so that they follow the master light. Another cool thing we can do is set our lights into different groups by using the color group feature. So to demonstrate, I'm going to use all 4 of my lights and set them up into groups of 2. However, if you had more lights that you wanted to set up into these different groups, you can follow the same exact steps. So like I mentioned before, we're gonna use the color group feature. So for today, we're gonna set this group to red and this group to green. Now to set our lights up to the different color groups, we're gonna press the power button once to cycle between the different color groups of red, green, yellow, or blue. So for this group here, we'll press the power button once until the color group LED is red, and then over here we'll do the same thing until the color group LED is green. So now I can use just one of my remotes to control each group. To do that, I'm going to use the RF group button here on the top of my remote, and then I'm going to press it until the light on the front of the remote flashes to the corresponding color. So for example, I'm going to press the RF group button on my remote until it flashes red, and now if I use my remote to set my red group into any mode or color, it will automatically follow. So now to work with the lights in my green group, I can press the RF group button on my remote until it flashes green, set it to a different mode or color. So now we have each group of lights doing their own thing. So again, if you wanted to set up more lights for your groups, you'll just want to press the power button once until the color group LED matches to the group you want it set up to. Now what's also really cool is that we can change all of our lights at the same time no matter which color group they're set to with the remote. To do that, I'm going to press the RF group button here until the light on the front flashes white. And now if I use the remote to set the lights to a different color, you'll see that they all follow again no matter which color group they're set to. This is really handy if you quickly wanted to change all of your lights at once. So hopefully this showed you guys how easy it is to set up your mini RF4 charge package. But of course, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to reach out to our customer support team through phone or email. As always, I'm Perry from Rockville, and we'll see you guys next time.